time for another Adobe Illustrator tutorial. This one's going to be an autumn illustration theme with a sunflower. So first thing we'll do is use our tool section over here on the left hand side and go to polygon tool and create a polygon. And right now it doesn't really matter what color it is, I'm just giving it a color that I'll be able to see, and I am going to have the stroke be turned off to take that out. Then over here I'll change the number of sides. Let's go with 11, and once we have that done, kind of whatever size you want it to be, then I can go up to Effect and Distort and Transform, and then select Pucker and Bloat. Alright, and this is kind of a cool thing here, an easy way to make flowers, kind of underrated. Let's see, like 114, 115, somewhere around there. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it as best as I can. Alright, I think that'll work good for beginners. So 110% looks good on mine. Depending on what you want your sunflower to look like, it's kind of up to you. Once you have that one done, then I can hold down the Alt button and then click and drag, and then it makes us have another copy of one here. And I'll rotate this one just a little bit and center it as best I can. You can resize this if you wish. Give it a little bit of a variation in the size of petals that way. And then you can always select both of them and align them centered with each other if you want. And then choosing one of these, then we can have it be a different color. So maybe this one here I'll have be that color, then I'll select the other one and have it be a different color. So actually I think I want the smaller one to be the lighter color, and then the larger one I'll have it be a little bit different like that. And you can change the order of those if you need to change that arrangement. That looks pretty good. And I can hold down Alt, and I'll bring in another one. And this one here I'll have be like this darker color, and then I'm just using Control left bracket to move those back a little bit. And I'm accidentally grabbed the wrong one on there, so it's no big deal. I can hold down Alt here and bring in my other one. Alright, so then once those are set kind of how you want those to be, as best as you can, and center them, we have the petals done. Alright, so then in the middle of that, you can resize it however you want it to be. Then I can bring in over here back to my shapes, get my ellipse tool, and with this ellipse, let's go with like the real dark brown. I'm just using these default swatches in here. You can use whatever custom colors you would like. If I bring this here, maybe shrink it down just a little bit. Get it as, I still want it to be relatively big to the rest of the shape, so it doesn't look like a so much like a daisy or whatever. And then we'll just kind of play around with these petals as best as we can. Yeah, here we go. Alright, so here is the actual main part of the flower. Once I have that done, then I'll select them all. I can right click and then just select a group to make it easier to move around. And then the other thing we can do is either with a line or with a rectangle, kind of up to you how you want to do this. But once you have that, then choose a green color and send that to the back and center that as best you can on there for the stem. And there's a few ways that you can do the leaves for this. One way that kind of has worked for me is if I make an oval. Alright, and then I make a copy of that oval and rotate it, and then just have them be overlapped about like that. And then if you select them both, and then go over to the right hand side and choose the intersect, and then we have a little leaf here that we can use for this. And then you can kind of choose whatever you want for the angle of this. And then if you want it to be symmetrical, you can bring one over and just go over to Object, Transform, and Reflect. Have it vertical and click OK. And you can bounce it in between there. Looks pretty good. So, you know, simple little graphic, I guess, that you can make with this. Doesn't have to have any stroke on the outside of it. Something that's simple to use, and then you can group that whole thing together. You can always right click and then ungroup it if you need to. And if you want to accompany some text with this, you can go in here to active regular, and then you can use a little quote, something like, when surrounded by shadows, be a sunflower. Make this big, and yeah, I'll actually center that text. I think that looks good. And then just to play around with the colors, select the top part up here, choose fill, and I'll use the same dark color as I used for the middle of the flower. And then maybe for the rest, select this, and I'll use the kind of mid color of that flower. There we have it. Easy little sunflower graphic using Adobe Illustrator with a simple effect there with your polygon shape. So let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll catch you on the next tutorial video.